Hello. So, I haven't really been recording lately. Like I have so many thoughts and feelings and opinions on different things going on in the world, and on top of things going on with me personally and my family. I've just I guess been a little uninspired lately to converse about anything, really, because things keep getting weirder every day, it seems. But there's a couple of reasons that I'm going to be doing some lives and recording some footage for Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Not really sure what platform would be the most beneficial, so I'm just going to be throwing some stuff out there and see what happens. But I don't want to do like really long talks. Yeah, because I don't want people to get bored. But anyway, there's a few reasons I'm going to start this up. Again, it's because I have some things that I need to say. I have some things I want to say. I have some questions that I want somebody to answer. Hey, Tiggs. And you'll have to excuse me because I lose my train of thought. Sometimes I'm like, I'll be talking, I'm like gung ho, and then I'm like, wait, what was I say? It's crazy. It's like a perma stoner or something. I don't know. It's weird. Like I'm relatively young to have such a like short term memory issue. Let me gather my thoughts. Throughout my life, I've had different people tell me that I am the most protected person they've ever met, or blessed person they've ever met. They feel like I have a special place in God's heart. It's a pretty cool compliment to get. I don't know about all that. But hold on. Okay. Anyway. I really like the idea of like just doing lives and just like raw recording because it feels more like real, more personable, you know? But seeing all the times that I have to sit in silence because I'm like, what was I talking about? I can see where editing would be beneficial. Okay. Anyway, I've led quite, um, I've led quite the life. I was, from as far back as I could remember, my dad was military. My mom, we lived overseas. We came back. My mom and dad got a divorce. My dad was never really around. And when he was, all hell was breaking loose somehow. But anyway, I was pretty privileged up until I was 15. I mean, I watched my mom consistently move up in life, from an apartment to a rental house to having a house built. She was a career woman. Her best friend, my godmother, career woman. Cars. I didn't know that people actually lived in trailers, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just didn't know. And I was a really good kid. Like, I loved school. I was social. So, there's a couple things that happened in my childhood that had an effect on my life forever, for sure. But I'm not going into all that right now. That is not what this is about. But at 15, for no reason at all, I flipped out. And everyone thought I was on drugs, which I wasn't. I didn't know anything about drugs at all. But since I was in a big city, my mom did what she thought was best for me and moved me to the country to get me away from big city life. Where I really wasn't doing anything wrong at all. I'd never even seen or smelled marijuana. But moved to the country, and within 3 months I was doing methamphetamine. It was my first drug. And life got drastically different. I'm not going to go into everything that happened over the next few years, my high school experience. I mean, I will later for sure. I've been diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and it's funny because I look back over my life and I'm like, of course, my life literally is bipolar. Like, I have experienced far both ends of the spectrum. Like, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, so I went down a really, 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 really dark, nasty, bad road for a lot of years, and a lot of stuff happened in there, life-altering experiences, which if anybody is interested and wants to hear about those, love to tell some stories. I get it. Alcohol, drugs, all the bad that comes with it. I totally get it way more than I wish I did. I've been clean off meth amphetamine now for 7.5 years. And I'm an alcoholic, which I had almost 7 years, but I relapsed. I have almost a year now. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. So I've been asked a lot lately about my testimony because I'm pretty involved with my church and with the youth and everything. I've been asked a couple of times, and both times or all times, I've honestly said I don't feel like I'm ready for that. I just haven't collected my thoughts, or even really looked back and realized everything that's happened. And then someone was like, a 2-minute testimony. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm definitely not ready. But anyway, so I thought in order to get ready, I would start telling little stories. And I swear they will not be this long all the time. See, this is way too long. Like, I have stuff to do. Like, I have to do some stuff and do some other stuff and everything. But they won't be this long all the time. Okay, so anyway, mini story. Here we go. Mini little testimony, right? So, way back in the day, Tyler and I have been married for 16 years. We got together when I was, I don't want you guys to know how old I am. Never mind. But we were teenagers. And we got together. And we really wanted to have a baby. And we tried and we tried. And we tried and we didn't get pregnant. And so we were like, let's do dope instead. Because, that's always a great idea. Because it turns out we actually both had quite the drug problem at this point, unfortunately. He came from a crazy background too, but that's not my story to tell. But anyway, so we would get we were living in Las Vegas, and we would get so high. We get for days and would read the Bible and would fight about what it meant. It was the craziest. It was so weird. We were pretty much living in our car. Driving around with random people just because I don't know. Anyway, somehow we started going to church. A lot of this stuff is foggy too. We started going to church. We were going with this family who was trying to help us get on our feet. They wanted the best for us, but at this point in our life, we didn't want the best for ourselves. We just wanted to be junkies, basically. We started going to church, and Tyler didn't really have a background in church. I've been going to church my whole life, my grandparents, which is crazy how that turned out, but that's for later. Anyway, I don't know exactly what order this stuff happened in. If the parking lot happened first or the baptism happened first. Ultimately, it doesn't matter, okay? So we had been up for days, and as usual, we were reading the Bible and fighting about it, about what it meant. And all of a sudden, Tyler started speaking a different language. Scared the hell out of me. I did not know what he was saying. Like, it wasn't gibberish, but it wasn't a language that I knew. And I got out of the car. I was like trying to get away from him, scared. And I swear to God, like every time he'd come close to me, I'd like run away from him. Like there was like this like dark, something like over him, like a shadow, like smoke, but see-through, but black. Like in like a force or something. And I get away from him, he get away from me, but then he'd come close, and I can understand what he was saying, and black, and I just knew something on him was evil, you know what I mean? Something wasn't right. And I'm not even sure how we got out of that situation. I was terrified of him. What's crazy is to hear him tell the story. It's the exact same story. Only he's the one terrified. He said he was speaking English the whole time. He was never speaking a different language. And I was speaking a different language. I had started speaking a different language. Like W in the actual F. I'm serious. Okay? This was a supernatural, crazy experience. Like, when I have time, let's sit down and try to figure out, like, what it meant. Or anyway. So then we were on our way to church one day. Tyler was getting baptized. We were behind a grocery store, and I know that we looked awful. I mean, awful. I mean, roasted, exhausted, emaciated, criminal. I'm sure we looked criminal, shady, dangerous even. We just had all the looks of like up to no good. We were back there getting high on the way to church to get baptized. And I don't know who, but somebody called the police, and we were in this car, we're looking down, getting high. Look up, there's like cops everywhere. Like surrounding the vehicle. Even now, all these years later, I can feel the terror that I felt. I was terrified. So my life like flashed in front of my eyes. I knew we were going to prison. Like there was no way around it. We were going to prison. We had enough drugs on us to go to prison. We were incoherent. We were obviously drug addicts. We had everything going against us, including being in a stolen car. Okay, so. And we pulled all the stops, like jumped out of the car, locked the doors, they're like, and all these cops start, they start slowly, coming in, like this, like they're all, and remember hiding the dope in the middle console. Like, that's how fried my brain was. I was like, oh, what do I do? I'll hide here. I was so scared before we jumped out. I looked at Howard and said, what do we do? He said, don't worry. I've got this. Say it's fine. I was like, no. Jumped out. Cops came up and they were not nice at all. They knew exactly what kind of people they were dealing with. They asked for permission to search the car. We said no, it's not our car. The whole thing, the whole routine. I'm sorry, it's not my car. You're gonna have to get their permission. So it was, wow, Goose Chase. So they're already pissed. So they're calling my mom, and I know my mom's not gonna give them permission, and they're calling my mom trying to get permission, and that she won't give it to him. So they're like, oh, actually, it's in her stepdad's name, which he would definitely give them permission. He was already super furious with me, and that's a whole other ball game as well. But we were just biding our time. We were just trying to keep him out of the car, because we definitely had enough dope on us. We were going to prison. They were so mean, and they were so excited to get us. They said, you either let us in the car, or when we get in the car, we're going to charge you both with everything that's in there. And so they're literally gloving up. They have our IDs, the dope is literally right there in the center console. Like, you can't miss it. Like, all you gotta do is like open it, and you don't even need to see the drugs. All you have to do is look at our faces. Like, we're like all like Night of the Living fucking, excuse my language, like Night of the Living Dead, and anyway, so I was so scared, and I reached over. They were all getting ready. They were talking, and then I reached over and grabbed Tyler's hand, and I was so scared, and I just started to pray. I knew that we were in trouble, a lot of trouble, and I started praying, and you cannot you're not supposed to be making deals with God. That is not like I'm pretty sure it says not, you can't do that. You can't bargain. Like, it's not like Dormammu. That's not what's going on here. So but I remember grabbing Tyler's hand and praying, and I was like, God, if you'll get me out of this, I swear I'll get rid of it. I'll pour it on the ground. I'll get rid of it. Just if you please get me out. And I was praying so hard, like harder than I'd ever prayed. And these cops, they're in between us and the car. They're walking to the car, and literally this one has his hand out to open the door, and then a line of them stop in unison. They just stop and stand there for a minute, I don't know, because they had their backs to me. I'm assuming that maybe they didn't know exactly what was going on. Maybe they were trying to figure out why they just stopped. But they just stopped. All of them stopped in their tracks and they just stood there. And I just kept praying. And out of nowhere, these cops turn around in unison, start taking their gloves off. The one cop that was like the scariest, most intimidating dickhead. Oh my god, he turned around and he said, he hands me my ID. I'm gonna let you go this time. I couldn't even breathe. I couldn't believe what was happening. He said, I'm gonna let you go this time, but you need to get your tags fixed. Something, something, something. I don't know, because I was in shock. They all loaded up, like 15 to 17 cops, and left. They were just gone as quickly as they had shown up. And I took all that dope and I poured it all out on the ground. I smashed it. And then my husband got baptized, and I think he slept for like days or something. But it was a miracle, like, is what I'm getting at. It was a miracle. In no realm of my like reality would that ever happen, ever. It's not even. It was a miracle. And I would love to say that I've been clean ever since, but I had to go like a few more rounds through the ringer. I have a lot more stories to tell. But this was like a small miracle, or actually it was a huge miracle. Like, even now, I'm like, yeah, definitely God, definitely miracle, but I still don't, like, I still can't believe it. And I was there. It happened to me. I was there. I honestly, like, I still can't believe it. I can't. Because there's no logical human explanation for what happened. It's amazing. I can't even believe that it happened. It's I didn't like, I mean, I did, say, hey, if you can get me out of this, if you get me out of this, I'll pour it out. I did say that, and I did do that. But I'm not saying that, I mean, God's mercy gets you out of situations that you get yourself into sometimes. And that was definitely God's mercy. That would have altered the course of my life. But anyway, being asked about my testimony has just made me think about all these different things in my life that defy explanation, that's happened. And I thought, well, maybe start telling some of those stories, Maybe people can relate, or maybe give people hope, or maybe just for entertainment value. I don't know. But that was an amazing experience. Like, straight up the power of prayer. And I honestly can't even believe that it happened that way at all. And I definitely didn't deserve it. I was up to no good. But in one of my most darkest, scariest moments, I cried out to God and begged Him to deliver me from the situation that I have gotten myself in, that there is no way out of at all. Besides something supernatural, which is exactly what happened. So anyway, this was like way longer than it was supposed to be. I want these to be like short little stories. I've got a lot of them. People are like, oh, write a book, and I really, really want to, but I can't seem to find the time. I can't even find the time to collage, which is like my passion. So how am I going to find time to write a book? I work for myself. I work for someone else. I work on this house. I have kids. And I just don't have time to write a book. But I could tell little mini stories. And hopefully they help somebody. And so anyway, I have no clue what my next story is going to be about. It could be about another miracle, like a spiritual, religious thing. It could be like a supernatural, spiritual experience type thing. It could be like down my long, long, dark road of alcohol and drug abuse. Long. Marriage, separation, children. Relapses and recovery. Being separated from your child or children through situations that you never would have ever guessed would have happened ever. I've been uninspired lately. And then something happened. And I'm like I said, I'm involved in my church with the children, with the youth. I've got a teenager, 2 actually. And a 10-year-old. Something happened, and it made me want to reach out to anyone and everyone that it would matter to. hurt so bad for my son, which is understandable, but it's more than that, and I can't quite put my finger on it. That this town is plagued with suicide. Every so many years, a few years ago, there was a string. I mean, it was awful. I don't even know how many there were. I worked with this one woman, and one of the first ones was her son. Her husband died right after. Not exactly suicide, but might as well have been. How strong do you have to be in this life? But anyway, a few days ago, one of my son's best friends decided to take his own life. And he succeeded. Um, 15, I believe. I've struggled with depression, anxiety, suicidal ideation, suicide attempts, so I get it. Totally get it. And you're a teenager, you're mixing hormones with possible chemical imbalances, with possible drug use, alcoholism. Just a big, pot of, it's just like a bomb, basically. And I know teenage angst, things can seem like the end of the world. It can't, just it's hard to explain how horrible things can seem. And when I was 15, I thought I knew everything. But I'm not 15 anymore. My son is. His friend was. And as an adult, looking back, I just know. And it's not, I'm not talking down on anyone or belittling or demeaning anything they may think or feel or anything. I'm just stating facts that nothing ever, probably. I've never been in every situation ever, but I've definitely been 15. And nothing is that bad. Nothing. Nothing's worth that, And everyone feels alone sometimes. And everyone thinks that things would be better without them sometimes. And sometimes we really think that we just want everything to end Feelings change. Thoughts change. You are not your thoughts. Feelings just want to be felt. They will change. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Being someone that's tried to kill myself, like seriously, like I had no intention of waking up and didn't care about anyone or anything. And waking up was hard because I was looking directly into the faces of the people that meant the most to me. And I was just ready to check out. I thought my husband was going to divorce me. I realized what I had done. I was leaving all these people. And I felt so guilty. So genuinely sorry. The kid. I'm sure he thought his problems were huge and they were never going to end, and he thought he knew it all. He was 15. Every 15-year-old does. But really? He's just a baby. It's just so sad. And for some reason, I have some kind of heavy sense of responsibility almost. Maybe it's just grief. I don't know, but it's rough. And there's a part of me that feels so bad for thanking God that it wasn't one of my kids. And I just prayed for that family. Anyway, this has been far too long. That situation, for whatever reason, has motivated me to start speaking out, speaking up a little bit. If there's anyone out there, that can benefit from my experiences, or, I don't know, find God, or not feel alone, or, I don't know, maybe I make you laugh, maybe you think I look funny, maybe you think my nose is big, I don't know, but anyway, I just have all these experiences and all this knowledge inside of me, and I just like, what am I doing with it? So I figured I'd start giving it away. For whatever reason, this situation has motivated me to do that. Because you never know. You never know what someone needs to hear, and you never know when will be the last time that you see somebody. So, anyway. I gotta go. This has been a real downer. Sorry about that. Anyway, thanks for listening. Hope you found something useful in there. Don't know how often I'm doing this. Don't know what story I'll tell next. I know it won't be this long, so don't worry about that. Yeah. So now I've actually got to go back to real life and get some stuff done. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. It's been super cool. Yeah. So if you want to reach out, or reach out to me in any, way or whatever, I'm here, obviously. I'm on Facebook because isn't everybody over a certain age? I'm on Snapchat because it's addictive and my kids got me hooked on it. It's like super funny. I'm not on Twitter anymore because I forget about it. I'm not on Pinterest anymore because I forget about it. What else is out there? Did I say YouTube? I'm on YouTube too. Anyway, so you can comment or you can message me or whatever. And let me know what we're doing next. Because I don't want to be coming up with all this stuff on my own, by myself. Oh, and if you haven't heard Tom McDonald, do yourself a favor. Go listen to some Tom McDonald. Oh, that's weird. Seriously. Oh, yeah, and all you little Gen people, what is it, Gen Z? Leave him alone, okay? Like, he's like, hello? There's no comparison. Like, you can't even compare your entire generation to him as one person. Like, sorry, not sorry. He, yeah, he's controversial. Like, super. Well, like, you can't get more controversial, but that's kind of like that's kind of like how it is. How it's like the brand. Like, this whole, like, we can't say anything anymore because we're offended over everything. That crap has got to stop. Like, it's driving me crazy. Like, people, I'm serious. Like, people have their feelers hurt over every little thing. Like, if never mind. We're not going there. I have to end this video because I have stuff to do. Okay, so, anyway. Thank you for watching, and if you let me know what we're doing next time, then that would be great. If not, I guess I'll just come up with it on my own. And I don't know when, but when I figure it out, yeah. Okay, awesome. I have to go find some people. Okay. Have a great day. Seriously, bye.